Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the penultimate day of the sixth edition of the Lonavala International Film Festival. Today is the last day, and we've had three magnificent weekends where we have been talking about the magic of the magnificent filmmaker Shakti Samanta. And for me, it has been a deeply enriching experience. I have been able to get to know so many things about this filmmaker whose films were my favorite films in the early 70s, especially when I was at an impressionable age about movies. We have with us Ashim Samanta. He's been here with us every single day of these 9 days. Thank you, Ashim. We are very grateful to you. We are also grateful to your father for making all these films and giving us that immortal legacy. We have with us Divya Surgama. Divya is RJ, a personal friend, and a wealth of information about cinema, about music, and about an era which I know that with people like Divya around will never be forgotten ever. We have with us Tushar Bhatia, a leading exponent of music. Tushar is a personal friend. He had done Andaz Apna Apna. He loves music. He loves Indian music. He loves dissecting music. He understands it like nobody else I know.
Thank you.
And of course, we have with us our festival director, Mr. Madhav Tudi. And we have our patron in chief, Mr. Sushil Kumar Agarwal. And Sushilji hasn't been here with us for the last 2 days, but he has been with us last weekend and the weekend before that. And we have him to thank for these absolutely phenomenally digitally remastered, pristine clear prints that we are able to watch on Plexigo. We're also grateful to Plexigo. I think today being the penultimate day, Madhav will talk to us and thank all our sponsors, all our patrons, and all those who have helped in each and every way on this festival. But you're watching this on Plexigo, and we thank Plexigo for that because they've been absolutely magnificent. 2 years in a row running. Today, rather than only talk about Anand Ashram, I would actually like to talk about Shakti Samanta, the man, and I will start with Ashim. And Ashim, I would like to know, and as would our audience like to know, what made him a filmmaker? Where did he come from? Where was he born? Which was his first film? When did he turn from director to producer? What made him what he is? The master of the crime caper, as you see Evening in Paris and Red Gambler. The master of the love story, as you very much see in Aradhana and Kati Patang. The master of the social and the family drama, as you see in Anurag and various other movies. But above all, a man who we now know is a man who has been an avid reader, who read books, who read novels, who read in English, who read in Bengali, and who searched for inspiration through literature. A man who loved literature, a man who loved reading, a man who became a filmmaker not based on his ability to say action or cut, but based on his ability to read, understand, and assimilate stories and translate those stories onto celluloid so that all of us could benefit from his amazing art of storytelling. And a man above all else who knew his music like very few filmmakers do. A man who worked with Ravi Saab and Shankar Jaikishan and worked with R.D. Burman and S.T. Burman and Lakshmikant Pyarlal and Shyam Mitra, Larry. He worked with everybody. And he got them to give him great scores. So, Ashinda, what made him tick?
Well, he was born in Bengal, and
Okay.
when he was just 2 years old, his father died in an accident. And so he shifted to Badayun in UP, where his uncle was there. And he, at the age of 6 or 7, they shifted to Dehradun. So he lived entire schooling days and college days in Dehradun. And his principal was an Englishman. So that's the reason that he was very modern in his approach, and he had both the cultures and music, Western as well as Indian, very much ingrained into him. And he wanted to be an Air Force pilot, and he he got admission, he was selected in the Air Force in 1944 or 45 or something like that. But my granny started crying, and she said that I lost my husband, I cannot lose you. So he said that my second love is films. And he didn't know anybody in Bombay. So he saw one little job near Bombay at Dapoli. So of that was a school teacher's job. He was a physics, chemistry, mathematics to teach, and he came and became a teacher there. And those boys, it was a Muslim school, so they had holidays on Fridays. And those boys were almost his age, around 18, 20, though they were in 10th, 11th standard, whatever. And so he started teaching there, and every Friday he would come to Bombay, visit the studios. And as it happened, I wanted to shoot a sequence in a ship once, 1980. And I went and met the managing director of Shipping Corporation of India. And as soon as I sent my card, he just called me inside and he said that I know you. How do you know me? And he said that your father was my school teacher. And he was such a fabulous teacher, and he was such a fabulous man, and this and that and all that, all superlatives. And I was so thrilled, I'll tell you, it was one of the happiest days because somebody, his student reaching the MD's position in Shipping Corporation of India. Then after that died, one of his students just called me on my mobile and said, you wouldn't know me, I was your father's student. He was our favorite teacher and this and that and all that. I said, I mean, that was great. Anyway, so he made the rounds of the studios and eventually he got a job as an assistant director. And he worked under Fani Majumdar and Gyan Mukherjee. He was chief assistant to Fani Majumdar. And in the same studio, Bombay Talkies and Bombay Talkies. So this Gyan Mukherjee was also there, and there Guru Dutt was the chief assistant. So when Guru Dutt's film got over, he would ask Dad, "Arey Shakti, isko mujhe bhi laga de, I am jobless." So Dad would put him in the second assistant. When his Fani Majumdar's movie got over and Gyan Mukherjee's movie started, so Dad would tell Guru, yaar mujhe naukri nahi hai abhi. So he would say, come as the second assistant. So their gurus were Gyan Mukherjee and Fani Majumdar both.
Which movie of Fani Majumdar was he assisting? Which one?
Andolan and so many others.
Andolan.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he also wrote, because he was from UP, so his Hindi was terrific.
Sorry?
So he had a very good command over Hindi language,
Okay.
as he was from UP. And all these people, the directors were all Bengalis. Their Hindi was not good. And they used to write in Bengali, and that would translate it.
Oh.
So that ultimately became a dialogue writer, screenplay writer also for them. Because
Okay.
he used to, and all the actors like Meena Kumari, Ashok Kumar, everybody, they just wanted Dad to narrate the scenes because his Hindi was good and he narrated very well. So that's how his rapport with all these people became very good.
Wow.
And then he got a chance to direct his first film, Bahu. Then before Bahu,
That's the one that had music by Hemant Kumar.
yes,
Bahu and Inspector both.
both. And but halfway through, when the movie was not, it got stalled because the producer lost his money in horse racing. And then one day, Mr. Nadia, S.H. Bihari was the lyric writer, and he had got very friendly with Dad. So he said that एक सेठ है, तो वो बहुत पैसा है उनके पास, so he wants to make a movie, but his budget is just 1 lakh. And Dad said that 1 lakh में picture नहीं बनेगी, 3 lakh लगेगा if you want Ashok Kumar and good heroine. And so he said that आप बोल देना कि 1 lakh में बन जाएगा, उनके पास बहुत पैसे हैं, तो he will put the money, don't worry. Dad said मैं झूठ नहीं बोल. So anyway, he forced Dad to agree that he will say a lie and producer को अंदर कर लेगा. So the next day, Kareem Nadiadwala and Ghaffar Bhai, he was just 14 years old. Ghaffar Bhai Nadiadwala, both of them came to the studio, famous studios, and met Dad. And so Dad, the first thing he told him, 1 lakh में picture नहीं बनेगी, 3 lakh लगेगा. They got shocked and they said, फिर तो ये तो साहब बोल रहे थे कितनी 1 लाख में बन जाए, तो नहीं 1 लाख में नहीं बनेगा. So they said, अच्छा हम लोग सोच के बताएंगे. So they went away, and then S.S. Bihari came and cursed Dad's choicest galis that you will never make it, this, that, and all that, and went away. After 2-3 days, he came back and told Dad, "अरे ये तो कमाल हो गया, वो सेठ जी दोबारा मिलना चाहते हैं तुमसे." And सेठ जी came and told him, that is Karim Nadiadwala, told him that हम पिक्चर बनाएगा और 3 लाख में बनाएगा और हम सिर्फ तुम्हारे साथ बनाएगा, तुम ईमानदार आदमी है, I want somebody like you to make my movie. And that's why, you know, Nadiadwala grandson, so his grandson is Sajid Nadiadwala.
Ajit, yeah.
So that's how, and that made three films for them, yeah, eventually. And then in 1958, he decided to make his own production and start Howrah Bridge. And Dadamoni already had made a great rapport with Dad had made a great rapport with Dadamoni, so he immediately signed on the film. And Dad had no money, but Dadamoni said, "Don't worry about that. When you finish the film, I'll take the money." And he also told Madhubala the same thing, that Shakti is coming. He's a very good technician and good director. So you sign the film and don't ask for money. So he went to Madhubala and took 10,000 rupees. Madhubala said, "No, take the money away, just give 1 rupee." And she was very happy. And she heard her role and she was thrilled with the role because, you know, playing a Christian girl and speaking broken Hindi, "Humko tumse shaadi karna banana mangta hai," and all that. And she was rolling with those lines. And she immediately agreed, and she also agreed that you pay me at the end of the movie. So that's how Howrah Bridge started, and it became a super hit. So then, of course, there was no looking back.
Did you know anything about the picturization of I.A. Meherba? How it was conceived? It is so brilliant, and of course, Chin Chin Chu. Very much.
They were shot at famous studios, and they have created the set. As I told you, that he was quite influenced by Western culture, and he was very conversant with Western culture. So for him, it was very natural.
Wow.
And then what happened? We have to go from Howrah Bridge to Singapore. From Singapore, we have to go.
Then he made, after that, he made Insan Jagutha, then he made
Jali Note.
Naughty Boy. Then he started,
Naughty Boy.
those were for other producers. Khud Ka production, mein he made Naughty Boy, in which there was Madhubala and Kishore Kumar. 10 reels were made, and then Madhubala was told by her doctors that she cannot work at all. So he had to shelve the film. And he told me that with Madhubala, the timing, comedy timing was so good. Those 10 reels were absolutely brilliant. And then when he restarted the movie after a few years with Kalpana, that chemistry did not happen at all. And that's why the movie bombed, because it was a comedy. And in comedy, if you don't have the chemistry right, it just doesn't work. And he was telling me that those 10 reels were fantastic. Unfortunately, we don't have those 10 reels. Otherwise, those 10 reels would be so valuable today.
And you'd also told us the story of how Shami Kapoor Saab helped him because
Yeah.
Boy was.
So, when this movie stalled, and obviously he just was going through a lot of pressure because, you know, there's no money and 10 reels are made of a film and you have to scrap almost 50-70% of the film. So then he used to be very depressed, and Shami uncle noticed that he used to get depressed sometimes when he went into those thoughts, and told him that, "Shakti, why are you? I see sometimes you get very lost. What happened?" He said, "Yeah, Shami, this is the matter." Told him about the movie, etc. He said, "Don't worry, it is very good. My films sell like that. So you find a story and make it." And that thought of Chinatown and made Chinatown, and that became a hit, super hit. And well, after that, with Shami uncle, his relationship was extraordinary. So Shami uncle told him every alternate film of yours I'll do. So then Kashmir Ki Kali, then Sawan Ki Ghata was with Manoj Kumar ji. Then again Evening in Paris with Shami uncle. Then Aradhna was with Rajesh Khanna and Jane was with Shami uncle. In between, he did an outside producers film Pagla Kahin Ka with Shami uncle also. And yeah, then it was Rajesh Khanna era. And
So the main heroes that he actually worked with in multiple movies, I noticed were Ashok Kumar, who also worked as a character actor with him in Anurag, in Anurodh, Rajesh Khanna, of course, Shami Kapoor, of course, and Uttam Kumar.
yeah.
But he actually worked with a lot of them. There was Manoj Kumar in Sawan Ki Ghata. And then there was a Mithun era also where you both did films with Mithunda. But in the middle of that, there was Jitendra in Gitanjali.
Then there
There
was
was
Sanjeev Kumar.
Sanjeev Kumar,
Yash.
There was
Ayash,
Dev
and,
Saab, Vivek, there was
Parit
Dev
Rahim.
Saab in Jali Note.
Dev
Dev
Saab.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Sanjeev Kumar in
Kumar
Charitrahin also.
Detective, Pradeep Kumar in
Sanjeev Kumar in Charitrahin as well as in Ayash. So, there was.
Then
So
Ek Raz had Kishore Kumar. Lovely songs in Ek Raz. Agar
Correct.
sun le jo ek nagma huzur yaar laya hu.
Ek Raz and Naughty Boy had Kishore Kumar. Yes.
Ha.
and Naughty Boy also
And
had.
with Kishore Kumar, Dad has worked as an assistant director, then as a director, and
And then, of course, as a producer in whose films he playbacked.
and then of course,
Multiple
Aradhna, every film he was the singer.
Yes, yes.
Tushar, I want to talk to you about now that we know the journey of a man who was born in Bengal, studied under a British school principal in Dehradun,
Yes.
came there from Badaim, and then worked as a school teacher himself, and then moved into Bombay and wanted to make movies. He became an assistant director. He assisted in a bunch of movies, and then finally became a director, producer. His entire story actually could be made into a film, but I want you to talk about the music of Shakti Samanta as a big picture and the greatness of the music and the music directors he worked with.
I think Shakti Da had a very, very good ear for music. I mean, I'm not just talking about the favorite and famous films like Kashmir Ki Kali, Sawan Ki Ghata, Aradhana, Kati Patang, and the now famous films. What happens today, what's happening in FM radio? You mentioned this that day, so I'm just elaborating and continuing from there. People who are running the shows, they are running the radios, they are of the 70s and 80s generation. So they naturally look at those songs. But there were songs in Inspector. There was this Dil Chhed Koi Aisa Nagma, Geeton Mein Zamana Kho Jaye. What a song it is. What a composition. What a song. Same thing about Agar Sun Le Jo Ek Nagma Huzur Yaar Laya Hu, Chitragupta Saab in Ek Raz. And Howrah Bridge, Jali Note is my all-time favorite music, absolute favorite. I mean, Dil Hai Aapka Huzur and Gustakh Nazar Chehre Se Hata. You have to hear those songs.
Churi Ban Kata Ban.
Churi ban, kata ban, oh my son. Sab kuch ban, magar kisi ka chamcha nahi ban. This, what a song. And what a melody. What a melody Nayyar Saab. Nayyar Saab had this great knack of composing tremendously deep melody. Okay, I'll talk about Jali Note, about Howrah Bridge. I think I mentioned that day. I was talking to my brother. I was talking to you. I don't know. Eent ki dukhi paan ka ikka. Okay, Kamar Saab's words and Nayyar Saab's music. Rafi Saab's brilliant singing. Imagine this. Eent ki dukhi paan ka ikka. Kahin joker, kahin satta hai. It had to rhyme with Suno ji ye Kalkatta hai. All right? Suno ji ye Kalkatta hai. One of the lines, ye basti hai aag ka dariya. Isme Howrah pul hai. Apni jaan bacha lo babu warna dabba gul hai. Now here, the kafi of the last antara. Kahin Mukherjee, kahin Banerjee. कहीं मुखर्जी कहीं बैनर्जी कहीं घोष कहीं दत्ता है सुनो ये कलकत्ता है hats off to these words कहीं घोष कहीं दत्ता है and the music it's supposed to be like a light frothy song. What melody Nayyar Saab has composed, and not one but two Tonga songs in that film in Howrah Bridge. One is this and one is Ye Kya Kar Dala Tune. Oh, and that Ye Kya Kar Dala Tune with the whistles and the sarangi coming, and oh, it's something divine.
It's
Okay,
a fabulous song. Fabulous
it's
song.
a fab. I mean, if I was the
Ashim
director,
sir, don't you see the whole resonance of this music in Tushar's own compositions and Andazapur?
Yeah. Yes.
Such a tribute you paid Tushar. I stood up and I clapped in the theatre.
oh, thank you. I won't talk about myself right now. We can talk about that some
So
other
we
time.
can talk about you. There's no problem.
Yeah, we
No,
can.
no,
Hello,
no.
hello, hello is like hello, hello is my also favorite song. It's like a
Now that
super.
I hear you and I see you talking about the music of Howrah Bridge, of Jali Note.
All right, I'll tell you about Howrah Bridge. The sarangi and the cello combination that Nayyar Saab used, that is R.C. Boral Saab's hallmark. All right, it comes, you can hear it in Dole Hriday Ki Naiya, you can hear it in Lakshmi Murat Daras Dikhai Ka Anand Devi songs, Saigal Saab songs. That was R.C. Boral Saab, the father of film music. The other one was Pankaj Malik. Pankaj Malik created the Tonga rhythm, which was in the film Doctor. First time. Doctor was Anand Ashram. Shaktidas Anand Ashram was
Yes.
based on Doctor.
Correct.
It was a super hit film. Doctor created, it had two rhythmic experiments and innovations. One was the Ghoda Gadi song, which was Chale Pavan Ki Chal. The other one was a train song, where you have it as recent as in Mere Sapno Ki Rani and all this. Where is the root of that? That is in Ai Bahar Aaj Ai Bahar. So Pankaj Malik Singh Saab sings both these songs. He innovated the rhythm for the songs, and then it continued forever. Now, Nayyar Saab had a huge influence of Pankaj Malik and R.C. Boral on his thought process. So did Naushad ji, so did S.D. Burman, so did Madan Mohan, so did Roshan. All of them grew up on New Theatre's music. So what you grew up on, you like the most. Now, today, if somebody asks me, what is your favorite score of R.D. Burman? I will not pause to think that it's Amar Prem, because I grew up on that. Burman da, Pancham da composed right till Ek Ladki Ko Dekha To Aisa Laga. But to me, it doesn't compare to Kati Patang and Amar Prem and Andhi, because I grew up on that, right? It's your impressions that you live with. I can never, ever sort of disregard my self without Amar Prem music or Kati Patang or Aradhna or these films, Rajesh Khanna films. So Nayyar Saab also, obviously, he had the material, the Bengal material in the film itself. And kahin ghosh kahin datta hai, suno ji ye Kolkata hai. I mean, you hear the song, the melody, the music pieces, you know that the composer is inspired by the director. And once I had spoken to a Panchamda, I was working on Andaz Apna Apna, and Panchamda was working on Ghatak with Rajkumar Santoshi. So I used to meet him a lot at Majroor Saab's house. So I, like, as a fond fan, we all are his fans, he's the last of the great lot, as I see it. Sorry, I'm being very honest about what I feel, but that's how it is. So Pancham Das, I said, Pancham Da, kuch Amar Prem jaisa banaiye, kuch Andhi jaisa banaiye. You know what he said? ऐसे director कहाँ है? ऐसा अभी नहीं बनेगा. ऐसे director कहाँ है? It is the directors. We are talking about Shakti Das, so I want to say this, that it's the directors who inspire music. I mean, when he said the story about Kashmir Ki Kali, those 40 songs which were taken in Sawan Ki Ghata, wow, I mean, I was dizzy with delight at the thought of it. And then Pancham Das saying ke main isme music karunga. He called up and said that, okay, let me do Kati Patang or Amar Prem. Let me do Amar Prem. Imagine what we would have missed out if Panchamda had not insisted on wanting to do Amar Prem. He had not expressed this himself. For example, Dev Sahab ke liye, कि आपके लिए मैंने बहुत गाने बनाए, हरे राम हरे कृष्ण में एक दम मारो दम मेरे कहने से ले लीजिए, मेरे कहने से. He had to plead Dev Sahab to take Dam Maro Dam, and it's only half a song in the film. Just imagine if it hadn't happened, what we would have missed out as Panchamda fans, as music fans. So Anurag, for example, let me come to Shaktida. When I saw the film, I thought S.D. Burman had super excelled himself from Bimal Das Lori of Nanni Kali Sone Chali to Mera Raja Beta Bujhe Ek Paheli. I used to play that song every day. I have that EP. I used to play that, and Tere Nano Ke Main Deep Jalaunga, Daka Dale Teri Bansi, all these songs, I used to play them every day. I had that EP. And but Mera Raja Beta Bujhe was something that just touched me so much. Maybe because the film was so touching, and I'm sure we all must have cried while watching the film as Satyajit, kind of feeling, whatever. But the music always depends on the director's choice. He chooses at the end of the day. इतने सारी फिल्में हैं. I mean, जाली नोट है, we have Inspector, we have एक राज, we have Chinatown, we have Kashmir की कली,
Even
सावन की
Detective had fabulous music by Kanu
Of
Roy.
course, Mukul Roy. I was going to come to that. दो चमकती आंखों में till today it plays on Vivid Bharati. Yeah, all मुझको तुम जो मिल गए. Geeta Dutt's brother, Mukul Roy was Geeta ji's brother. And Detective had, I think, Pradeep Kumar, was it? Pradeep
Yes.
Kumar and Mala Sinha, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
It had fabulous music. It had just fabulous music. Just super music. And this, I'm talking of this before Howrah Bridge or before Chinatown and before Shakti Da came into colored films, etc. All these films had fabulous music. I mean, Jani Anjane, I remember Pagla Kahin Ka, all of them had
I love the music of Jani and Jani Incident.
absolutely.
I just want to give you 3 comments on Anurag. One is that I had put it to all my students to watch all Shakti Das films, not just the ones being shown at the festival. And the unanimous messages that I got was, sir, why aren't you showing Anurag? It's the finest film. And for hardcore 18-year-old thugs, I don't use any other words, to have to cry when they saw Anurag and they've said it's the best film. I also heard, I read in Stardust, maybe 45 years ago, Lata Mangeshkar was very fond of Maushami. And because she was playbacking for Maushami, she put so much love into Sunri Pavan that it actually ranks as Lata Mangeshkar's best song for Maushami. It was absolutely outstandingly sung. And when she sings for Maushami, if you close your eyes, you can actually see Maushami.
Yes.
So these are the 2, I mean, I remember these. And one clarification. I am 100% sure because my cousins were over from Pune and my mother said, go buy 7 tickets. I remember Sharif Badmash was playing at the Strand. Anurag was playing at the Regal, close to our house, not the main theatre, which was Opera House. And I went to Regal, it was house full. So I went to Strand, bought the tickets for Sharif Badmash, which everyone hated except me because it was Adi Burman's music, so I could sit. But recently, when I've been looking at the old newspaper ads, I saw an ad that said Anurag played at Eros. How could it have played at Eros and Regal? Was there, did it shift? I don't know.
Wasn't it at Roxy?
No, Roxy. The main theatre was Opera House. That I know because I saw it twice after that. Because, when I saw Sharif Badmash. But I remember going all the way to the Regal, house full, searching for tickets, which was fine. I remember Anurag, Regal and Opera House. You normally had one South Bombay theatre to complement, like Mehbooba's Novelty and Liberty. Things like that. I'm not saying. But the ad said Eros and Opera House. So nobody will remember this. I've had fights on Facebook.
I want to talk about Anurag, Vivek.
Yes.
Especially, it had such an unusual. I've seen it only once, and that too in my childhood.
But I saw it 3 times.
I remember the film very well. It had such intense characters. Even Rajesh Khanna's character, even Maushami's character, Snootan, Ashok Kumar, the grandson, Vinod Mehra. Everybody was very intense in that film. Nobody was, I say, upar se kuch nahi tha. And there were songs. And what made him, think about these characters? As you said, of course, it was inspired.
I know what Ashim will say. My father used to read. He saw a story. He loved it. And he decided he would.
This was a story inspired from a real life incident about Kapoor Chand family. And then he narrated this story to my mother and me that time. And both of us said, it's too sad. Why do you want to make this? He said, you guys don't understand anything. I'll make it. And when I saw the movie, I said, my God, what a movie he has made. I got totally floored. I saluted my dad for that movie because, I had...
Ashim, you don't cry in the movie because you're sad. You actually cry because how poignant it is and you come out feeling happy.
Yeah.
You come out, feeling like there's a catharsis. I saw thrice.
And that movie was such a super duper hit in all over the world, like Russia and Portugal and Bolivia. It was a super duper hit there. And people just loved it. The Spanish people loved it. So I guess it connected with their emotions.
Connected emotionally.
Yeah.
Also,
think
I
it came-
subsequently in life, I made friends with Satyajit, Master Satyajit.
Yeah, yeah.
He's Puneet Isar's nephew or cousin or something. And he's a thug like me. You know, we used to sit down and I kept on looking at him and saying, this is the boys from Anurag. And he's sitting and cracking jokes and using flowery language, for want of a better word. And, you know, I mean, for me, it was like, you know, people coming out from the screen and sitting in. I still don't believe I'm in the film industry. But Anurag, yes, our mistake. But the trouble is that he made so many great movies.
Hmm.
And picking it becomes a different exercise altogether.
I think
now-
Anurag and Amar Prem came one after the other and were both
Yes.
very intense in emotions. Is
I
that right?
suspect that Amar Prem was still running at the Roxy when Anurag was released at Opera House. I suspect that he used to monopolize the theatre. And then Ajnabi came to Liberty, and then Mehbooba came to Novelty, and then Anurodh came back to Roxy. And
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't hit a theatre in that area without hitting one theatre that was running Shakti Das current release. Charit Rahim came to Naz. I remember them very clearly. I used to see them all at the Defence Cinema in Navy Nagar. It was next to my house.
Yeah.
It was very easy to sneak away and see movies without my parents getting to know. I now come to Anand Ashram. Otherwise, we'll again run out of time in spite of the fact that good old Madhav has given us a little time extra. If you had given us this time in the first episode, we would have gone through Shaktida's life. I thought it was fitting to do this tribute and talk about the man on the last day because our loyal audiences have now seen the movies. They know the stories behind these movies. So to understand the man who made these movies, it's only fitting that we do it on the last day. Divya, Anand Ashram.
Well, of course, for me, it's Sara Pyar Tumhara. I'm sure with for everyone
मैंने
else
बात
out here
दिया है
also.
आंचल में.
You know, and that line, हम और पास आएंगे, हमें और पास कोई लाएगा, दुनिया को नजर आएंगे हम जब जब वो मुस्कुराएगा. Oh, goosebumps. And somewhere I feel it was a tribute to Jeevan Ki Bagya Mehkegi from Tere Mere Sapne. That
Yes.
scene was same. Indivar Saban is best in this romance and everything. तो सारा प्यार तुम्हारा तो मतलब आउट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड है. उसके अलावा राही नए रस्ते नए नए, दैट एंटायर टोंगा इफेक्ट एंड दैट वाज देयर. किशोर कुमार इन दैट ओपी नैयर स्टाइल. उसके साथ साथ तेरे लिए मैंने सब कुछ छोड़ा, तू ही छोड़ के चल दी. माय गॉड, किशोर कुमार्स वॉइस इन दैट सॉन्ग, द डेप्थ जो उन्होंने लेके आया, वो पूरा ऐसा लग रहा है दिल निचोड़ के वो पूरा उन्होंने, ऐसा लगता है समवेयर वो अमानुष का एक सॉन्ग रह गया या वो जो दर्द था वो यहाँ पर लेके आ गए, यू नो. And
It
then
was
there
also
is
Swami Mitra, like Amanush.
and there is a rare song that is Tum Itni Sundar Ho, very rare song with Yasuda singing for Rakesh Roshan. So that's again, and I read somewhere एक मैंने बहुत पहले फिरोज खान का या इंदिवर साहब का एक इंटरव्यू पढ़ा था that हम तुम्हें चाहते हैं ऐसे song was originally written for Anand Ashram. And they said something happened, it was not used, and later on he gave that same song for Qurbani. ये मैंने पढ़ा था. Shim can clarify out
No,
here.
I'm not aware of that.
Okay, so this is Anand
What
Ashram.
happened? It's very clear, Divya, that they used to write songs. If it didn't go to one film, it went to another film.
But you know, Vivek, you guys spoke about Shakti Das 50s, 60s and 70s. तो एक 80s era जो आ जाता है, जो थोड़ा सा छूट जाता है, तो मैं थोड़ा सा उसके बारे में बात करना चाहूँगा. And starting with Great Gambler, because Great Gambler is one of my favorite films. Of course, Amitabh Bachchan is there, but वो जो James Bond वाली जो feeling, that Bond effect which he got in that film, and the way he shot it, that cold storage action sequence, I don't think so. मेरे ख्याल से 70s, 80s में किसी ने इतना stylish action sequence shoot नहीं किया था. And music, of course, going to Venice and shooting, क्या thought process रहेगा. And वो गाना आज भी out है. Anyone, every couple,
दो
वो
लफ्जों की
लफ्जों की
Classic, even
every couple who goes to Venice, they will be sitting there and वो pose में ही करते हैं. That is a Amar song, you know. So Great Gambler तो है ही. Awaaz was an action-oriented film, but I love one very good song. So I'm going to recommend a couple of rare ones, and that is Aajane Manna Jit Tujhe Bik Tohfa Deta Hu, where Kaka is singing that word, Pehle Pyar Ka Pehla Bosa Deta Hu.
Correct.
Very cute song. Alag Alag, every song of Alag Alag was like a gem song. You know, Kabhi Bekasi Ne Mara, Kagaz Kalam, then Tere Naam Ke Siva Kuch Yaad Nahi, This one, the main Dil Mein Aag Lagaye, Sawan Ka Mahin, Nahi Jeena Kaka in full is Kaka style. Aar
नहीं
paar.
जीना नहीं जीना तेरे बिन नहीं जीना.
Then Kuch Humko Tumse Kehna To Hai, superb music. Aar Paar, a very underrated film, but
Very
it had a
underrated.
superb song, and that is Jaiyo Na Dur Hamre Jiya Se. क्या गाया किशोर कुमार ने, with that Bangladeshi heroine was there.
Rosina.
रोजीना. दुश्मन में भी एक अच्छा क्यूट सॉन्ग था, आओ हुजूर खाओ हुजूर, with Amit Kumar Singh. Khwab had a fabulous song, that is तू ही वो हंसी है. I keep playing that song. What is music? Matlab, even Gitanjali, Bappi Lahiri had come in Gitanjali, but there are a couple of songs with Kumar Sanu in, I think first time in Shakti Samanta camp, singing 2 or 3 songs. So बहुत 80s में भी बहुत अच्छे गाने, बहुत अच्छे गाने.
Actually, Dad was a very good singer himself, and he played the flute very well. So, and whenever he chose a song, he would sing it at the sitting and see if he could sing it easily. If he could not sing it easily, he rejected the song. And if he could sing it easily, he knew that if I can sing it, everybody can sing it. That was his criteria in selecting a song.
But Ashim, your films also had superb music. You know, मैं आवारा हूँ में मेरा अगेन किशोर कुमार का फेवरेट किसी की
सुना है तुम्हें
किसी की बेवफाई का सबक बन जाया करते हैं. That song is there. आमने सामने had superb songs.
Even Akhri Bazi had very good songs.
Akhri Bazi had very good songs.
Even Aankhon Mein Tum Ho and all the
सुना है तुमको हम कोई शिकायत है.
Yeah, even Ye Jo Mohabbat had very good songs.
Yeah.
And Malik.
Okay, I wanted to ask you one thing. Ravindra Jain in Khwab, and I noticed that from Ajnabi to Charitraheen to Mehbooba to Khwab, a lot of films starred Yogita Bali, but always in secondary roles. Was that just a coincidence, or was that
coincidence?
And she was a very easy lady to work with, so no ego of having why is my scene so low or why is my role so low.
Dad had a very good rapport with her, and Dad had worked with her aunt Geeta Bali.
Okay.
The connection is there.
Correct.
Shami Kapoor connection. How come you're not talking about Balika Vodhu? And how come he didn't direct it? I want to ask.
Well, it was very well directed by Tarun Majumdar, and so he wanted to maintain the flavor of the original film. So,
wasn't Maushami the original heroine of Balika Vodhu when it was made?
Yes, but that time she was 14 years old.
That time she was 14 years old.
So we wanted a girl who was 14.
But can you, Ashim, also share about the Devanand Sheld film, Spy from India, or what, International Agent, or aisa kuch to naam tha?
No, I'm not aware of that.
So I have seen that poster on a booklet or somewhere. There was this Interpol agent from India.
I am not aware of that. No.
Okay.
Dad never spoke about that, so
I'll share you that poster
with Devanand and Interpol. I didn't know it was directed by Shakti Da. I didn't see the name of the director there. Divya, now we come to almost to the end. We are at nearly 6:40. The genres. A man who makes great noir films and crime capers like Evening in Paris, Great Gambler, Chinatown. Social films, Anurag, Anurodh, Alag Alag. Romantic, quintessentially romantic films like Aradhana, Amar Prem, Kati Patang. It will always be known as a trilogy of films. Every genre was mastered by Shakti Da. Half of it was answered by Ashim when he said that my father was not a genre. It was a thing of liking the story, feeling deeply a connect with the story, and then going ahead and making the story to the best of his ability with the right actors and the right music. But there were some genre-defying movies. I mean, I don't know which genre to put Amanushan. You know? He just made it, and it became, as we discussed yesterday, a super duper hit. Anand Ashram, compared to the volatility of Amanush, was a very mild breeze of a film.
Yeah. Anand Ashram, basically what happened is he was a great fan of Pankaj Malik and K.L. Saigal. And Doctor was one of his favorite films of that era when he was a young boy. So, and he wanted to remake. So Dad and I went to Pune Institute, Film Archives, rather.
Archives.
And we saw the film there. I found it very slow and obviously 1930s ki film. So I asked Dad, why you want to make it? I mean, it's such a strong story, I'll make it in today's time. And so he wanted to make it.
So he did. Instead of making it long and boring, he made it languid. It went at its own pace. They fell in love. They set it up. Her death. I won't talk about the film anymore because that will become a spoiler for the audience who watch it today. But it was paced like Anurag was. I'm sorry, like Anurag was. He did not hurry up.
It had a
Like in
Bengali
Anurag,
taste.
he established
It was
Nutan
very
Ji-
Bengali.
Yeah, and I think it works. I think today's filmmakers, sorry to say, are too much in a hurry to come to the point, and then there's no point to make altogether. And then you don't know what the hell it is all about.
Very well said.
You know, they're in such a hurry, you know, as Shakespeare said, a lot of sound and fury signifying nothing. I mean, today, if I look back at my favorite films, I don't have too many from this millennium, from the last 20 years. I don't. I have some from the 90s, some from the 80s, definitely a lot from the 70s. I think the 70s was genuinely a golden era. Because there was Shaktida and Vijay Anand and Raj Khosla and Ramesh Sippy.
And Jio Prakash.
Yes, at their best. Pramod Chakravarti, Shaktida, Dulal Guha,
Rishida.
Rishida, Basu Chatterjee. You had 30, 35 great filmmakers doing great work. Today, when I look back, I look at Rajkumar Santoshi for his meticulousness and his writing. I look maybe at Suraj Barjatya for a certain consistency in saying, I will do what the way I want to. He has the luxury because he's made so many blockbusters and he has the whole distributioners network. But if I look back, I see inconsistent work from people like Anurag Kashyap, sometimes good, sometimes indifferent, sometimes rubbish. He fluctuates. I don't know what they're smoking nowadays. I mean, I know, but I can't say it. But the point is that so many filmmakers, 35, 38 of the best filmmakers this country has ever seen in that 10-year period, making their best films. Producers like J. Om Prakash, producers, who produced a great Andhi that was directed by Gulzar, went on and turned director and made Aapki Kasam, which was outstanding. You know, it was an incredible period. It was a golden era. The best music directors all together competing with one another for making great music. If the Lakshmikant Pyarelal gave us Bobby in 72, then Kalyanji Anandji came up with another movie, and then Barmanda came up with 9 films in 1972. And it was an era. Today, if I were to ask Divya, name the great filmmakers of the 2000s, then to use the word great, he will have to really think. Good
It's a
filmmaker,
tough thing. It's
he'll
a
name
tough
5.
question.
Successful filmmaker, he'll name 20, so can I. That's not the point, you know. But as my friend Sudhir Mishra said, and I must tell you this, he said in those days they made films for audiences. Then we started making films for the barbers' shops. Then we started making films for the music companies. And now we are making films for the corporates who dictate what they want by email. Manmohan Desai, when he talked to you, Ashwin was not far wrong. But if you were only competing with video, we would still have had a chance. Today you're competing with corporates telling you what to do by email.
Absolutely.
And you can't answer that email, you know. We were so lucky in the old days, Natraj Studio had one payphone and one phone in the office. Nobody would get in touch with you, not the financer, not the distributor. Saab andar shooting kare. I remember going to Natraj Studio once, and I think it was the same studio with the 3 foot of water.
Yeah.
I don't know what scene Shaktida was shooting. I think it was for Dushman. And he was in his swimming trunks with a shirt on top because he was shooting some water sequence inside. It was dripping wet and he was sitting there and he called me and he said, "Chai piyo mere saath." So I sat and had tea with him. And at that time we were battling. We were in a big battle because I was using his songs in Dil Dil Pyar Pyar, which HMV had licensed. And he said, now give me your explanation. He was so nice because he liked me. He had come to the Patthar Ke Phool premiere and he had liked my music. So I said, sir, I'm not taking any money for this. He said, what do you mean? I said, I've told HMA, give me the music for my films. The royalties that are accruing from the sale of this music should go to the producers from whom I've taken this from. I'm not taking a rupee from HMA. He said, is that true? I said, call up Harish Dayani. And he did from that phone booth. And then he said, okay. And then I said, it's Babluda and it's the same people. He told me about some controversy between Sapanda and Basu Manohari and there was this huge thing, but I didn't want to get into it. I thought, let me have my memories of R.D. Burman and let them remain sacrosanct. I don't want to get into what was right, what was wrong. It didn't make a difference. The film did well, and, but of course I did my own interpretation of the film. But I remember sitting with him in the swimming trunks at Natraj Studio and having tea with him from those little glasses.
Same place we shot Amar Prem song.
Yeah. So that's all from us. I'm now going to.
I must play the villain as usual, Vivek. I'm sorry we've gone to now 6:46.
Yes, I can see that on my laptop as well. But
Yes.
Madhav, over to you for votes of thanks to everyone who's here and to people with us.
Thank you very much, Vivek. I hope this has been as enjoyable for everyone as it has been for me. Of course, the wealth of knowledge that has come from the panelists has certainly enlightened me a lot. The panelists already had the knowledge, so I don't know what their takeaway is from here. I must first of all thank the partners for Liffey in the 6th year, Liffey 2021, Trios Boutique Hotel, Ultra Media and Entertainment, 93.5 Red FM, of Contemporary Media, Pearl Academy, and Plexigo, which is part of the UFO. All these partners have made it possible for us to continue with Liffey year after year. I must thank all the panelists, first and foremost, Mr. Ashim Samantaji, who has spared his valuable time to come and give us all the insights into the great legend that we have talked about over the last 9 days. Sushil Kumarji Agarwal, our chief patron and the CEO of Ultra Media, having given us all the content that we want, and what lovely content. I mean, it's almost 2K quality. I've been watching these films, and the acting obviously shows up more also because of the quality of the films that we are seeing. My dear friend Vivek, who has been associated with us, and also the Dean at Pearl Academy, in helping us every year, year after year with Liffey and supporting this cause. Divyaji, who has also been with us, sharing his knowledge, insight, etc. Despite his being so young, I'm honestly impressed, Divyaji. I thought Vivek was one encyclopedia. I know Tushar for the last 50 years probably to be another one. But seeing you, I am honestly impressed and perhaps a little, intimidated by the wealth that you carry with you. Tushar Bhatia is, of course, known to me since probably third, fourth, fifth standard, and he's been very dear to us. Tushar has got a wealth of knowledge, which I was aware of. But all the knowledge that he's been sharing with us here, obviously I was not privy to. Thank you, Tushar, for this. The other panelists who are not here today, I must mention, thanks to them also. We had Poojaji Desai, who had joined in from USA, Jyotinji Goyal, Sandeepji Soparkar, Montiji Nath, and Aparnaji Modi. And Mr. Anant Mahadevan gets a special mention for having very gracefully filled in for Vivek on the day on which he couldn't make it. Pravesh GCP also was to have joined us. He unfortunately couldn't because of his ill health. But thanks to him, he has shared some slides with us, which we had shown on the Plexigo app prior to the screening of one of the films. So thank you once again to all of you. Vivek, if I missed out somebody, please pull my ears in private, but please share the thanks that made it.
No, I think you mentioned everybody, and I think everyone really had a good time. And I especially am so delighted that a filmmaker like Shaktida gets his due and people. And I am more impressed by, and I'm sure Ashim is too, that so many people love him so much that we know so much about him and don't let those memories go. So I'm going to request Ashim to call us down for dinner once this COVID business is over.
Sure, let's do
So
that.
we can all, Tushar, Divya, me, we can all sit across the table with you and really talk about your father and have a great meal. I think
Sure,
it's
let's do
great
that. Let's
to
do that.
continue these relationships.
And end the evening with Chingari Koi Padke.
Surely. It would be great. It would be really great.
Thank you very much, and enjoy the film.
Thank
And
you.
we'll see
Bye-bye.
you in Liffey 2022, if not before.
Thank you.
Thank you.